This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Gooder Diamond. Welcome you to another sports catastrophe on this date. And on this day, September 8th, 2018, one of the most controversial U.S. Open women's matches of all time happened. It was Serena Williams versus Naomi Osaka, Japan versus the United States. It was significant for both players. Serena Williams, it was her first U.S. Open since her hiatus to give birth to her first child in 2017. And trying to get to Margaret Smith Court's 24 Grand Slam titles in the Open era. She missed out at Wimbledon, so she had a second chance to get to number 24, which is iconic. Losing to Angelique Kerber at Wimbledon was not good. And Osaka-san was trying to become the first Japanese player, male or female, to win a Grand Slam singles title. Japan had a man finalist in Kei Nishikori, but he lost the 2014 final to Marion Cilic. Unfortunately, this match would be basically the downfall, if you will, of things. Regardless, the 2018 women's singles happened. Serena was given the 17th seed. And it's like, why is she ranked so low? Well, mostly because missing time to give birth and, being on maternity leave, you lose ranking points, which is kind of sucky in women's tennis because that means you're getting punished for being pregnant or having a child, which sucks. And in men's tennis, you don't get punished as such. So anyway, she got her first round match against the Polish player Lynette, winning in straight sets. She would take down Whithoft of Germany in straight sets. She would even beat her own sister, Venus Williams, in the third round in straight sets, and took down Kanepi of Estonia in 3 sets. Simona Halep was supposed to be the big gun in that bracket. She was the 1 seed and could have faced Serena as early as the 4th round. But Halep ended up losing in straight sets to Kanepi, who went on a beautiful run. Over in the bottom half of the draw, Osaka, who was ranked number 20, who was not supposed to get out of her group, it was supposed to be Petra Kvitova, or even Kaskatina of Russia, who were both ranked higher than her in the section of the bracket. Osaka swept past Sigmund of Germany, swept Glushko of Israel, double-bagged Sasnovich, as in she won 6-love, not giving up a game in the process. And she took down the Belarusian Sabalenka in 3 sets. Sabalenka took down Kvitova to face Osaka, but Osaka got her. So in the quarterfinals, Serena would take on the 8th seed Karolina Pliskova of the Czech Republic, beating her 6-4, 6-3. She would then face the Latvian Anastasia Sevastova, beating her 6-3, 6-love. It was crazy because only 2 top 10 seeds made it to the quarterfinals, and they both were in Serena's pod. The number 3 seed was Sloane Stephens, but she got defeated by Sevastova in straight sets. Osaka-san took on Sororenko of Ukraine, who was the only unseeded player in the quarterfinals, beating her 6-1, 6-1, and then took down the American Maddie Keys 6-2, 6-4. So it would be Serena Williams and Naomi Osaka for the title. Anyway, Serena wanted to win number 24 to tie the record of Margaret Smith Court. She would become the oldest female Grand Slam singles champion at the time. She gave birth in September 2017. But she would have to have an emergency C-section, requiring 5 surgeries and leaving her bedridden for 6 weeks. But there was a lot of anticipation and all that. Osaka began the year ranked number 68 in 2018, so she really hadn't been so much there. She got to the fourth round of the 2018 Australian Open, losing to Simona Halep in straight sets. But she won at Indian Wells, which was a huge tournament. She got seeded 21st in the French Open and ended up being number 17 by the US Open. So anyway, she was trying to give Japan something to love, you know. Have it. So at 4:20 Eastern Time, the match happened. Carlos Ramos of Portugal was the chair umpire for the match. Osaka was up 6-2. Won the first set 6-2. No big deal. Second set, after Serena, pardon, had problems. The problem was that Ramos gave Williams a warning for coaching because you can't have coaching. Her coach, Patrick Moratoglu, was gesturing to Serena with his hands and nodding, signaling her to move forward towards the net. Anyway, Serena was unaware of that. But then Serena approached Ramos calmly and told him, if he's giving me a thumbs up, he's telling me to come on. We don't have any code, and I know you don't know that. And I understand why you thought that was coaching, but it's not. I don't cheat to win. I'd rather lose. I'm just letting you know. Osaka Williams had a few games. It was 2-1 for Serena. Serena brought the matter up with Ramos, saying, it's not something I would do, but I could understand why you may have thought that, but just know that I've never cheated. Ramos said that he could understand her, and the on-court microphone picked up him telling Williams, I understood your reaction as well. But the ruling was upheld and the penalty was not retracted. Unfortunately, Serena, after losing the point to make it 3-2 for her, she got mad and smashed her racket on the court. Ramos gave her a second code violation for racket abuse, which means she was penalized a point. Which meant that, well, she lost that game 3 to make it 3-2. She was given a point penalty. That meant that Osaka would serve up 15 love without serving without one serve. But Serena was not too happy, saying that this is unbelievable. Every time I play here, I have problems. This is actually also in reference to 2008 when Serena was so mad at a lineswoman, she threatened to shove a tennis ball down her throat and was subsequently booted from the match. And Ramos made an announcement that Serena wanted Ramos to make an announcement that I didn't get coaching. You owe me an apology. I've never cheated in my life. I have a daughter and I stand for what is right for her. They will never do another one of my matches. Well, Osaka then would win the game on her serve, and then on Serena's serve to make it 4-3. The change of ends. Well, Serena was upset, furiously berating Ramos, accusing him of attacking her character. But even so, she cheated. She wanted an apology from Ramos, saying, you owe me an apology. Say it. Say you're sorry. And Serena called Ramos a liar and a thief. Unfortunately, this was a further code violation for verbal abuse, which meant that Osaka was given a game. It was 5-3. Fortunately for Serena, that did not mean the end of the match, although at 5-3, you're almost doing all that. Osaka is mad. Then Serena would then demand to speak to the tournament referee and WTA supervisor. So that these things happened to me too many times. She was being unfairly penalized because she was a woman. That male players do a lot worse without penalty, and that it happens to me every single year. She was given 3 code violations in 20 tournaments at the US Open, and they were upheld. Serena would hold to make it 5-4, but sadly, though, Osaka would win the next game on her serve game set match. Osaka-san. And Japan is happy. Unfortunately, it was partially tainted. But, Serena did embrace Osaka and refused to shake Ramos's hand, saying, you owe me an apology. When Ramos left the court, the crowd booed. Osaka hit her face with her towel. And unfortunately, the partisan crowd continued booing as the trophy presentation commenced. Ramos did not get his token of appreciation, which happens in Grand Slam finals, but yeah, he left. Osaka hit her face under her visor and wept as Williams consoled her. Serena tried to stay positive after accepting her winning prize, encouraged the crowd to congratulate Osaka and pleading the crowd not to boo anymore. And then the crowd began to cheer. Osaka was asked her thoughts on playing and defeating her rival. Osaka deferred from his question to address the crowd, saying, "I know everyone was cheering for her, and I'm sorry it had to end like this." She did acknowledge her family, team, and Serena. Serena raised the gender issue again at the press conference, saying that the violation made her feel like it was a sexist remark, reasserting that men have said worse things on court without violation, and drawing upon a controversy when at least Cornet was given a code violation for taking off her shirt on court, even though she had bra underneath. It was double standards and all that. Well, there were a lot of problems. The worst part for Serena was that her coach admitted to coaching her. And the TV cameras were correct that Serena did get coaching, although she did not know she was getting coaching. That's one thing. It's true enough. If she knew she had coaching, that's a different kettle of fish. So, yeah. But, of course, the coach said, hey, many people get coaching anyway. Why was she being punished for that? Well, Billie Jean King actually supported Serena at first, but then she softened her stance, saying that, Ramos did the right thing and could not apologize as Williams demanded in the situation. She was kind of out of line. However, Billie Jean King did agree with Chris Evert, who said something to the simple fact that, Ramos could have been less strict and given Williams a warning, a softer warning prior to any disciplinary actions. Basically saying that, okay, I understand you don't get coaching, but you can't do that. Please be careful. I mean, when you look at it, it's like, okay, maybe she was given a bad press because of her perceived notions of feminism and all that. I agree with Serena in a sense. However, Ramos was wrong. I mean, the box for coaching. Ramos could have easily just said, I'm sorry, I'll retract the code violation. But that rarely happens in tennis. That's the worst part. If it was more commonplace that, oh, shoot, maybe I should not give me a code violation, then, Ramos could have taken it off. But it was there in the books, but too little too late. You can't retract it. I mean, Ramos should not have done it. Ticked off Serena and all that. Fair enough. Serena did act a little bit out of line and all that. But, I mean, Serena let Ramos get to her. She smashed her racket on the court. Can't do that. And then, that second code violation, then you get in trouble. But then, I agree with Serena. She should not have been given a third code penalty for verbal abuse. It's like, men get away with it, stronger language a lot more. And that is actually true. But the simple fact is that Serena let those actions get to her. And unfortunately for Serena, she has not gotten title number 24. And she will not get major title 24 to tie Margaret Smith Court's record. She does have the most singles titles, men or women, in the Open era. But the simple fact is that, it would have been nice to see her get number 24, but it didn't happen. And it won't happen because, she's retired. Too bad. Anyway, I'm jumped. I'm going to do.